All right, today is February 11th of 2023, and this is actually a take two. I shot a video earlier today, and for some reason audio didn't work. So we'll see how it goes this time. Got the water hooked up in here. Got everything functioning in the head here, so yeah, that's all good. This thing isn't going to go here, it'll go there, but I just put it up here kind of temporarily. But I've got the clean out plates on these tanks now, and they're not tightened down completely. They're just on there to keep dirt and dust and stuff out of there. And I've got all three of these tanks and the tank that's under this one done now as well. And I think I'll just leave these tanks dry. I cleaned them out and dried them. And I think I'll just leave them dry and just use the aft tank, that 65-gallon tank, for my water use here in the boat. And then I'll just clean that tank once when I'm done, or before I get ready to, put the boat into use. But another thing I came up with in here is that I was talking about putting the refrigerator back there. I don't think I can do that. I don't think I want to do that. I had decided I was going to put my electronics back here. And if I put the refrigerator in there, that's going to make it really hard to get at the electronics. And it's also going to take up quite a bit of the space that would have been available for mounting things on that wall. That's a good place for the electronics. I kind of like that idea. It's out of the way, but still in a controlled temperature and environment controlled space. So yeah, I kind of like that idea of putting the electronic stuff back there. But that means the refrigerator is going to have to go back out here again. I may change this a little bit. I may leave the freezer in there and just come up with a way that I can move this refrigerator relatively easy to get access to these ports under here. But another thing that was going to cause a problem too with that refrigerator sitting here was access to the to the hatches in the floor here. Not that it would have been a huge deal, because I can't imagine I can't imagine needing to get into these just too terrible frequently, because there's just some plumbing here. That's all we got going there. So I probably wouldn't need to be in there very often, if ever, I guess. But I don't think the refrigerator would have bothered for the battery pack here. But the house batteries will go down under here. But I don't think the refrigerator was going to hit those anyway. But it will out here on the floor. So yeah, I'll have to do something here to be able to move the refrigerator to get at those. But again, it's not something you have to do that frequently, once a year maybe, or whatever. You want to look in those tanks and clean them out. So yeah, not a huge deal there. But yeah, just another thing you got to think about, or maybe that I didn't think through completely when I was doing that. But yeah, putting these plates in here. I got one more to put in that aft tank. I mentioned in my last video that I was a little concerned about there wasn't enough gap there. Yeah, they do flex just enough that you can get them all into those tanks. So yeah, that was not an issue, was not a concern. All right, let's go down for a second. And you can see, this is my plumbing under here. This is the drain, and I've got a loop there, and that loop is actually intentional. That's to create a little bit of water trap, so you don't have gases and stuff coming back up into the sink. And I had a leak on this fitting here, the hot water line. You can see it back there. But I wound up replacing this with a brass elbow as opposed to plastic. I don't know why that was giving me problems, but that fitting leaked. So yeah, I don't know if it was cracked or had a little scratch in it or what the deal was, but and I don't know what's better on these. If it's plastic is better, you know, in the boat you'd think almost plastic would be better because it's, you know, never going to corrode or anything, but yeah, the brass has got awful expensive too. But anyway, that part of the plumbing is now done. I left this sink here hooked up, or I hooked it up again to the cold water line just so I got some water down in here. And then here's my water lines running up forward, which I still need to do more tying up of things. But I have used my pump out, my whale gulper, I guess it is, pump. I did pump this tank out once already. But these here are all the sewer lines or the wastewater lines. I've just got them draining into the top of the tank. And then this is, of course, the going to the pump to pump them out. But yeah, it seems to be working all right. So yeah, I guess we're good to go there. Other than that, I think we're about ready to move on to the next project, which I haven't decided what it's going to be yet. But I'll let you know when I do.